We should have our game up actually soon. We have confirmation that our players are at their stations, so in the coming minutes, hopefully we will see our players here.
Yep, thanks for being patient, guys. I know we have an awesome match coming up, and I don't want to hype too much, and I don't want to reveal any names, but even after this match, we have an amazing match coming up. So, I don't mean to hype, but I'm totally hyping. Hashtag hype. Get that trending on the tweets. But Nathanias versus Deer is still going to be an amazing match, just as our players get fully prepared, stretch out, all that good stuff.
Definitely, definitely. So, someone tell me a little bit about Kespa, because I'm in the dark. Maybe I'm a noob at this, but I actually have never even heard the word Kespa before.
Oh, this will be zombies territory.
Oh, okay. So Kespa was formed a long time ago to make esports team more legitimate. So they were pretty strict though. Like they do Pro League and OGN. Although OGN and Kespa are two different bodies, they are very well connected with each other. And Kespa is it's Kespa versus ESF, right? Esports Federation. Kespa are all the old teams that are very well backed by like Samsung or of course Telecom, SK Telecom, really big names. So, and they have a very rigid practice schedule developed through Brood War, like 12, 14 hours a day, normal every single day, not much of a life. And they came up around a year and a half ago to a year and a half ago, I'd say, is when like it officially was that they were going to go to StarCraft 2, and it took them about 6 months, and they were getting up there, and it's currently been however many months, a year, and they're dominating. They're pretty good.
You are a dictionary of information on that.
I know, right? Like, I could tell you more. I'm trying to keep it, like, condensed, right? I could be like, this happened in No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that is why it's so exciting to see them going overseas. They are not players that went overseas. SC2 players are very used to going to foreign tournaments because SC2 is it wasn't as big in Korea as Brood War. So Korean events, it's only GSL for the most part. But foreign events, it looked like easy money, and they happen a lot. So, but Kespo just was not over here a lot. They were just too much in a practice schedule over there. Of course, traveling messes up your practice schedule. They don't want that, blah, 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 blah. And seeing them here is really, really cool. Not just as, like, special Kespo invitees, but actually people who, like, earned to go here and wanted to go here.
Definitely. It looks like we are in our lobby. It is Belshare Vestige. Hopefully I'm actually pronouncing that correctly. Will be our first map. We don't know the other two maps for the best of three, so we will find those out as we go. It is Deer versus, is it Nathanias? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Awesome. It is a PvT.
Yes, it will be a PvT on Belshire Vestige, and then we're inside the game right now. Whoops-a-daisy, I was on the other screen. It's going to be in the bottom right, coming out from Kespa's STX Soul, Red Protoss Deer.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner as our blue amazing Terran, we have Nathanias.
Yeah, so a good caster, a good player. He recently posted a blog on TL that you guys can go read if you want to go check his story out about DreamHack and a little bit about himself. And he really wanted to be a professional player. He was practicing a lot, 8 hours a day minimum. And he just, he was very sad in his blog that he had to force himself to realize that he'd be a better caster than player. But that doesn't mean he's a bad player. He's high masters. He's pretty good. Now, Deer is from Kespo, so I don't know if I want to say that he has that big of a chance, but I'm also not going to count him out.
Definitely. So it looks like nothing super cheesy out of either player. We have a supply depot going down at the ramp. So it looks like for just a standard 1 Rax. We'll see if he goes for a Rax Fast Expand at this point. Not sending that SCV out actually to scout, typically after the supply depot. The barracks is pushed back just slightly, so it allows for that add-on and the gateway going down in our Protoss' base and the scout going out.
Yeah, playing it pretty safe against this guy that he really probably doesn't have too much information about. Of course, Kespa, Koreans are even more in the dark when it comes to the foreign scene than, just Koreans in general. It looks like Deer's having some computer issues. Looks like he might just plain old lag out here.
Yeah, whenever it seems to go for more than 10 seconds, you rarely ever actually see it pick back up.
Yeah, exactly.
So at this rate, I don't know if they're just going to completely restart since another player actually really interacted with the other one, or if they will just go for like a resume from replay.
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. You guys might be saying, oh, it's only like 2 minutes into the game. How much can they see? But they could check into the build order afterwards in that tab and say, oh, Nathanias went for 13 gas. That's really important.
Definitely. So it looks like Deer is definitely going to timeout here. So yeah, both were going for pretty standard builds, nothing too flashy or out of the way.
Yeah, it doesn't seem so. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just completely regamed it. And there he goes, dropping out. I guess we gotta wait for Nathanias to confirm his drop. I imagine he's trying to talk to everyone. There we go. Whoa. Didn't Deer drop out, but he got the victory?
I guess he definitely knows how to win his games.
Yeah, Nathanias. Or Deer, rather. Wins him even if he lags out. That's cool.
Let's see if I can brighten up my face a little bit. It is starting to get dark here, and I do not have lighting very much in my living room. Okay, so I assume it's going to get underway, or if we're unlucky, the computer's actually completely out. There's a really bright light.
Talking to my team. They're in the chat. Hey, team. Shout out to my mom. No, I'm kidding. We should just be getting back. I imagine they're going to be checking his computer, like making sure what happened, if he overheated, if it was just like an ad virus thing came up and messed him up or something.
I can't imagine a computer would overheat in 2 minutes, but you never know.
You know, maybe he was just like, he was playing like practice games, and he was just like 400 APM. It was like, oh, I can't take this. I'm out. MLTs.
So, well, we sit here and wait. Have you guys gone ahead and tweeted us some questions? You know, humor is always appreciated. I'm sure you guys are an imaginative community, especially considering how much you like cats. I'm sure you guys can think of something.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, you know what you can do is do it in chat. Who do you think's gonna win? Like, I know a lot of you are Nathanias fans, but do you really think you could take out a Kespa Pro? I mean,
looks like Nathanias wants his girlfriend to watch the stream. Go ahead and okay, he beat me to it. Stole my thunder.
There's one chance to talk Nathanias word. What is wrong with you?
You know, I that would worry me more if I knew who Nathanias was. I'm sure everybody's raging at the point that they're like, why is this noob casting? I've already seen that a few times. I am definitely new, and I know that that's a little off-putting to some people as they hear me cast and try to talk about things that I don't fully understand. It's become a passion that I really want to learn where this goes. I see esports really going a long way, especially with just every year it's tripling in viewership. That's an amazing number. So I've only played with a handful of Grandmasters. I had Hart and QXC and Masan in one of my tournaments a few weeks ago. Besides that, I don't have much of interaction with these players.
Well, we did just cast DreamHack last weekend, or 2 weeks ago. Something like that. Very recently, I should say. So, you know, he wasn't that well known. He was getting, like, I don't know, like, regular stream views, right, like 10. Then he started casting Pro League, after realizing that, yeah, most people they don't like the current Pro League casters right now, unfortunately. So Nathanias was like, oh, you know, that seems fun, I'll cast that. And people loved him, you know, getting lots of attention, getting lots of hype. And he, you know, in terms of how long it takes you to get into this business, Nathanias really just broke out of the gate real fast.
Definitely. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can actually ask what's going on here, since no one's actually told us what ended up being the issue. So I don't know if there's any other interesting games going out there. We can go ahead and actually check out the brackets over here.
Yeah.
Looks like we are starting to get really close to the end of round one. Most of these games being 2-0. Actually, every game being 2-0 except for a single game. It was In Control and General. They were the only pair that did not just go completely wash one side down.
Yeah. Nathanias is understanding our woes. He's a good guy. But yeah, so like currently some of the really good matches that are coming up in round two, we're gonna see Minigun versus Firezerg. Firezerg's up and coming for sure. Kane versus Vibe. two North American heroes, hopefuls, I forget what everyone's calling them now. Binsky versus Sage. Sage being a Korean, obviously, and Hwangsin versus Noni. I actually want to watch. I really want to watch Noni. He was the first guy that I really had, faith in. No, this first guy I was really interested in, I guess, in StarCraft. And yeah, I had a crush on him. He's pretty handsome, not gonna lie. But who doesn't? Come on.
You gonna teach him how to play Terran?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, no, you're doing it all wrong. Stop it. But that should be interesting to see if he can actually make it. He left Team Liquid. I'm not sure why. I don't think it was ever listed a reason why, but he left Team Liquid a few months ago. It's been a while, and he's just been practicing on his own since then. So see how far he can go. Sound 2-0 gold on the main stage. I didn't get to watch all of it, but I just saw the bracket, so spoiler for me. Heart versus Cats should be kind of fun. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Sandbox. I also want to see Yu-Gi-Oh! To be honest.
I'm gonna, since we are on an extended downtime, I'm gonna distract people. I know you can't see this because my camera cannot be used by two things at once, but I have an obsession with like one particular anime, and I have figurines all over my desk.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was gonna be something. I thought it was gonna be a. Oh, what is that called? Oh, it's from Sonic the Hedgehog on Dreamcast. I love play. Okay. God, no. No. Gotta Google it. This isn't happening.
Oh, good. One person knows what Ava is. I congratulate you, sir.
I don't say. I don't
Hey,
pay that shit.
I'm getting face palms. Guess what? If I can support my habits, it's fine.
Okay, come on now. Oh, God. Dreamcast is a really cool video game system. Too bad it came out at the wrong moment. PlayStation 2 killed you. Chow Pets! I didn't even actually find it, I just remembered it.
Yeah, to one of the people talking, Death916, yes, I am streaming. And yes, I know I need better lighting. I'm kind of lacking in that. My living room in my condo does not actually have a light in the living room. There's one by the entrance, one in the kitchen, one in the dining room, and one in the hallway. I have this little dinky light that is, if I shine it directly at me, there's a heat wave going through Portland right now, and there's sweat. I will just flat out say it. You do not want to see the glistening sweat off of my face. These are not muscles. You do not want to see sweat. I mean, here, I can point this up. It's not like you guys are here to watch me on webcam anyways. You're here for the StarCraft or for kittens. I mean, it's one or the other. We had people coming over here during the multi-Twitch being like, I blocked out 2 Grandmaster Koreans to watch this kitten.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince, I know you are. You're silly.
Here to watch someone on webcam.
I'm pretty sure that is you.
I don't know, man.
I didn't know girls were on the internet. You're dressed up really well.
I am actually. You can't actually see what I'm wearing, but I'm wearing like a nice like blouse. I had like a jacket, but I was like Slayer's jacket's better, so.
Everybody just assumes you're a 13-year-old boy, and you have men's clothing. So I don't know. Everybody on the internet's very
this just
desperate.
makes me look like a oh my god. Car. Man, I'm forgetting all types of things. Like I used to be so on point, but now I'm forgetting Nope. No, can't figure it out. Makes me look like a race car driver. That's what it makes me look like. Except not quite NASCAR. But
Speed racer.
not quite Speed Racer either. Yeah, Patrick, Danica Patrick, whatever. What is that name? That is not a name.
The game is not currently playing. We had a deer drop out. I can hear myself echo. Is your microphone near your headset?
My speakers are...
Oh.
There you go. That should help a little bit.
But
Or I
yes.
just can't hear you at all.
Oh. Oh, sorry. I wasn't actually talking.
Oh, I was like, this is...
That was
happy
my
medium.
bad.
Okay. Yeah, this headset's not actually comfy to wear, so I'm listening through my speakers.
Yeah, so everybody asking what's going on, your guess is as good as mine. It's a tech issue, so you can open up the book of tech issues and just flip to a random page, and it's probably right.
Yeah.
We haven't really heard any news. Deer's not even actually in our...
Yes.
Oh, wait, we have a game invite. Thank the new gods and the old. I've been watching way too much Game of Thrones. So we're getting this
Who
game.
hasn't?
I don't know. It's been 2 seasons in a week. I'm just...
Oh, yeah, you're that guy.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Waited forever. Got all
You
of
watch
them.
20 episodes on Netflix, and Netflix pauses and goes, "Are you okay? Do you need to call somebody?"
Yeah. I've been watching Battlestar Galactica. I know, I'm really late, but...
I haven't seen it either, but I've watched all of Stargate, so I guess everybody has their things.
Yeah. I have read the books, by the way, for Game of Thrones.
I hear they're actually somewhat accurate. I mean, obviously, no TV... I'm forgetting the word.
TV...
When you make something into, like... It's a word that describes transferring it from book to movie.
Yeah.
That
well,
word.
we know what you're talking about anyways.
Yes,
well,
anywho.
like, the first book's really close to it. Like, you don't even have to read the first book or watch the first season. You can just go to, like, book 2, depending on whatever one.
Definitely. That is the sound that we want to hear.
Yeah, it's countdown going.
Everybody is talking about adaptation. Adaptation! That was the word. Thank you. I
Yeah,
feel so much
there you go.
better. The adaptation of the book to a... Well, not movie. I was saying movie, but TV series. Considering they had $60 million in their budget, it was basically a movie. Anywho, spawning in our bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran Nathanias.
In the upper left-hand corner, we do
Okay.
have our Kespa Pro. It's going to be STX Soul's Deer as the red Protoss, so don't worry, I'm not going to point it out.
Well, I would just blame it on... Maybe my screen is upside down on my desk.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, so hopefully nothing wrong goes here. You know, Deer lagging out, hopefully got a new computer, hopefully got a better computer, what have you. Now, last game we did see Nathanias go for that 13 gas. Will he do it again? I just expected a Reaper out of it. Not a big surprise, to be honest. Reapers, very popular in every single matchup just for that great scouting.
Definitely. It looks like pretty similar builds to what we saw before, so it looks like they're just going to stick with what they were doing. Just the standard stuff. The pylon is being built extremely close to the Nexus, so we're not gonna see any sort of attempt to block off the ramp or possibly a Forge Fax expand. I'm actually not really sure what you do with a pylon that close to your Nexus.
I mean, it's so pro level, to be honest. It's the same people who put the supply depot right outside near their Vespian geyser. It just saves you like that 0.1 second when your probe pops out and puts it down immediately. So Gateway also going down here, and then back on Nathanias, he did go for that early gas once again. Not too big of a surprise. Now Bashir Vestige, it's not a bad for It's not a bad map for either race. It's more Zerg favored than anything, but you know, the chokes can be very difficult. You know, getting against a Protoss with that really powerful late game army and having good control up a ramp with El Naga, that's usually not going to happen. It's kind of difficult.
Definitely. When we do have the barracks finishing up, the probe is doing a little bit of harassment on that, but looks like they're going to duke it out. The SCV is actually in the lead with the hit, so he would win any sort of battle there. We do have a Zealot coming out for a first. We do have one Assimilator up and the Cybernetics Core coming down. Don't know if he's going to go into an expansion or what. He does start chronoing out that Zealot. I don't know if he wants to kill the Scout out and start teching into something else without his opponent actually knowing.
Well, it's twofold, right? So sometimes you get fake zealots to make sure they don't engineering bay block, and then you get the real zealots, and they're going to stop on engineering bay block first of all, and second of all, they're going to apply some early pressure if they try and go for that low ground CC, because the bunker just won't be there in time. They got to do the fancy micro, blah blah blah. As you can see though, Deer not really going anywhere with that zealot, just specifically trying to take out the SCV as fast as possible. SCV does spot that probe going down, so he can get through the Nexus, and he does confirm before running away.
Definitely. And Deer actually did get an SCV kill.
Oh,
no.
boy.
Well, as I was going to say, Deer did get an SCV kill with the SCV that was building the supply depot, and it actually delayed that quite a bit. However, Deer dropping out of the game once again. So that's a thing.
Yeah, I guess they did not change computers, or else he just has the worst luck in the world. Like, I don't know. Nathanias is actually Nathanias isn't 2-0 because technically Deer won that last game somehow.
Definitely. So, I mean, after this, we might just go to a short break, just so we can, you know, speed up the time for us, get a little, we have been waiting here quite a while for this to go. This is, tech problems are tech problems. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Yeah. How did he win when he quit? I don't know. He was lagging out, and then victory screen was like, Deer won, and we were like, no?
Time is now frozen for Deer. He's hacking the game to make sure he wins again for a 2-0 win. This is very strange.
Yeah, I do still think it's Nathanias just being a nice guy, making sure with the admins that Deer isn't going to come hopping back in anytime soon before he presses that drop button.
You know, I would think as observers I could move around the map while I'm frozen now. Evidently not.
No, only when you're paused, not when you're lagging out.
Okay.
Nathanias drop hacking.
Well, speaking of what we saw, we do see there must have been double racks. I did not see. Oh, it's the reactor. So he's building one Reaper and one Marine, going for the reactor first. I don't really see that very often ever. Again.
It's interesting that he's going for Reaper then Marine, but a reactor Marines out of a barracks is not that uncommon in TVC or TVP rather.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. There, see, he won. What is that? Nathanias isn't even winning, and Deer is lagging out.
So it looks like we're getting an instant invite, which I am all hands for.
Yeah. Nathanias being on top of things as that host. Hopefully this means that it's something they figured out, you know, and they can just be like, oh, it was this then. After 2 dropouts, hopefully, I don't know. But yay, more downtime. What's up? Nothing, that's what's up.
So I might as well shout out to everybody watching. How is everybody? How is the weather? How is your country? I'm assuming, because we are not obviously just having viewers from the United States. You're being, I don't know if everybody's referencing you by calling you Zombie Girl. Is that?
No, don't say it.
Is that the new thing now? It's cold in Australia. Oh, that light it completely shines off of my head. This blazer is really hot. It is 90 degrees outside, and I'm wearing a blazer indoors on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, actually, I don't want to take my jacket off, so I put my fan on, even though I'd be perfect temperature without it. Tough stuff. I swear I hate all of you. When I go to dinner next week, you all are dead.
Chat agrees. You're kicking his cords. Nathanias is... That would be a great counter if you were actually there live. You're just sitting there kicking the internet cords to your opponent just so you don't lose.
So Nathanias is drop hacking him and he's kicking the cords out.
Okay, I'm gonna grab something else randomly cute off of my desk and hold it up. It's a Hello Kitty USB keychain. I have a lot of strangely cute things around my desk.
I have a bunch of StarCraft. Oh no! Look at this. Right? Right?
That was a great reaction.
Sup. I have mostly Final Fantasy stuff, but I don't even remember where I got these things, but they are fantastic. I would love more.
That's okay? I saw. Was that a Wolfenine? Is that the name? It's been so long since the original.
No,
Pokemon.
it's a Growlithe and a Sandshrew and an Arcanine. Oh, I can't remember. And oh, that was Sandslash. This is a Sandshrew. Obviously. Gee, Zombie Grub. Who's that Pokemon? They're both the same species.
No, I'm just like digging through my desk. This is what casters do. How do we fill time? Dig through your desk.
I know, right? I don't have my kitten anymore, so it's really difficult.
I found
Actually,
a
I'm not gonna
9mm
lie.
bullet. I don't know what to do with this bullet, but it's a bullet. And it's you don't get my bullet. I have a mods over here sitting on my couch, and no.
We got in a game. Okay,
awesome.
enough.
We have a game. We love this.
Yes. All right. Good. Hopefully. What was that? That was like the 2-3 minute mark, I think. Last kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't.
Past
It got
that.
a little farther, and I thought we were gonna make it, but we didn't.
Oh, okay. Next time, if he lags out, I'm going to show you my favorite toy, which sounds dirty, like I'm saying this, but it's not. Don't worry. In the upper left, it's going to be the blue Terran. This time I got him. Root Nathanias, the caster.
And spawning in the red, and hopefully not doing a mass recall on the game again. Dear.
Yes. So I think they switch positions every single time. I think we're back to normal like the first game. But yet again, I'm sorry, I'm reading chat. I should really turn that off. I'm just gonna get distracted because all my friends are there. Damn friends and stuff. Jeez, don't need them. Once again, pylon close. You know, Kespa players are all about cutting the corners, so such as the extractor trick, which is so popular in Brood War, and you know, putting things as close as possible because Brood War is so micro-intensive. Those little things really, really mattered, and a lot of just transfers into SC2 just to be kind of stylistic, and you know, it's something to do while this low APM first 5 minutes goes on.
Definitely. I mean, it doesn't really matter as much in the late game, obviously, just because, you know, a few seconds starts mattering a lot less, and your micro starts mattering, especially your macro. But, I mean, like as you were saying, if you're shaving off a few, you know, half a second consistently, you can do a lot of your early rushes a lot faster and get your aggression going way before your opponent would even expect it.
Yeah, it's true. You know, Innovation was talking about his builds, or rather Sulky's builds against him, and he was saying, you know, I could defend it without tanks like I was in practice, but his builds were just so spot on. They came faster and stronger than I expected, and it all comes down to, you know, really fine-tuning that build, which is what Kespa players are known for. Nathanias actually going for the 14th CC here. That is something way different than last game.
Wow, I actually had chat have to point that out to me. Shows how much I'm currently paying attention. The probe was just very attractive. The barracks going down, letting the probe leave, though. He definitely knows that there is the early expansion. So I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to follow this up. Deer is actually stacking quite a few minerals, and he might go in for an expansion himself, I would assume, unless he's going to plop on a couple of gateways.
You know, that's very possible that he could try and do something a little bit weird in response to this 14cc. Something that we've seen, especially on Whirlwind, is like the 2 times that I've seen it, is bringing like 5 probes and trying to kill the SCV. It's pretty funny to watch. It might be better in the process favor. I actually forget how that math went down, but you know, Deer doesn't do that. He just goes for the 1 gate expand rather than the cybernetics core then expand.
Definitely. We do have the SCV actually getting into Deer's base. Going to do a full-on scout. He's going to see that second gas and the cyber core, so he knows something. He definitely knows there's going to be some heavy tech coming up soon. Following up with this the Nexus at his natural. We do have a bunker.
That probe got an SCV. That is like a second SCV trying to build that bunker.
Trying really hard to get that bunker up. It does eventually chase off that probe. We do have the second orbital on the way, both actually being built at the same time, though the first one is just now finishing. A second barracks has been built, though neither with any sort of tech building. Nathanias still hasn't picked up any gas whatsoever.
His bunker is really oddly placed. It's kind of funny. In fact, I don't think this is what he meant to do. This is more just like get it down, because that is quite a wide path to the right where stalkers and zealots can get through, and that's not what you want. You don't want them walking past your bunker that is your 1 line of defense. So, you know, interesting about this second barracks is that is what you must do now when you do that expand, because it used to be that you just waited until 300 minerals to get the extra 2 barracks, kind of delayed it a little bit, but thanks to oracles and that militia core, you really cannot delay marine production, so you do get that faster second barracks.
Definitely.
He's going up to 4. Oh, okay.
It looks like the Stalker is going to get the SCV kill. Both bases now starting to macro up, getting as many workers as they can. The bunker is now fully loaded. Not as much, I'm saying repeatedly.
It's alright, yeah. You're still getting warmed up. Like, I'm already warmed up and I'm ready to go, you know? And you're only at second best of 3, so we'll get it out of there. Now, the 4 barracks are pretty interesting simply because you usually go up to 3 and then a factory, of course. So that 4 barracks means he's going to have a lot of Marines, and he's probably going to do some type of little attack with like 10 to 12 and try and do some probe damage. Now, mothership cores are pretty handy at defending it, but you can still get like maybe a sentry kill and a few probes.
Definitely, and we do see the engineering bay coming up, so I would like to see this followed up with a second one, getting double upgrades pumped out. He is definitely going for some heavy aggression. The Marines are actually moving out with the rally point set to the Marine. There's an observer actually floating over at this exact point. He's going to see this. It's going to be a direct interception with this. The Stalker actually sees it, though, before the observer does.
Yeah, saw the Zonagi knew to be prepared and has it microing very, very well. Already took out a Marine, and that's really nice. You know, it's 13 Marines out. He's rattling across the map, but only 7 or 6 about going through. And these 2 Stalkers with good micro, believe it or not, will be able to take this out. But the Mothership Core, it's back home. It's ready. He just whipped in 3 Stalkers, and this is not going to do anything.
Yeah, the Marines are actually starting to get completely torn apart. I don't know why he's still trying to push this. He should just pull back and try to save as many Marines as possible. The entire Marine force getting wiped up. 3 Marines on their way back home. He is now just getting Stimpak with his 1 tech lab, putting reactors on the other 3 barracks.
Yeah, going very Marine heavy. You know, Tennessee now in Heart of the Swarm is to go Marauder heavy and then into Hellbats. You know, that's really what's been up and coming. So to see this many reactors is actually kind of surprising now. These Stalkers are returning some reply pressure. There's only 3 Marines in this bunker, and yet again, there is a wide area to the right that he could walk past if he chooses to do so. It is a little risky, though, because that production is really starting to come up for Nathanias.
Definitely. I do find the supply depots in a very strange position. The Stalkers are going to end up engaged this. The SCVs do get there just in time to repair it, though. I don't know if they're going to keep it up. The Stalkers do decide to pull off before he loses any of those Stalkers. Again, the supply depots could have been placed at the right side of his base, which would have prevented any run-bys. I'm not really sure why he placed them on the left side.
I really think it was just some nerves, like, you know, potentially that Zealot and Stalker could be coming in on the 4-minute mark and he wanted to get it down really, really quickly. Or it just could have been just simply misplaced, like, you're doing so many other things, you accidentally misplace it. But it's definitely something worth noting, and these supply depots did almost halt his SCVs too long to repair, so yeah, it's a good thing to note. Proxy pylons going around the map, and 6 gateways back home, along with a Robo and a Robotics Bay. I think he's going to go for a 2-base all-in here.
Definitely. He is stacking quite a few resources, though. He could take an expansion on the back of this.
Oh, he's going to take it. Yeah. He's going to take that expansion instead, just getting up to 6 gateways to support any attacks that are going to come. But 2 Colossus are very scary. He can still push out and apply a little bit of pressure, because Nathanias just... Oh, he blind Ghost Academy. That is a little unfortunate.
Yeah, the Extended Thermal Lance is about to come out, so with a pure bio army... And no medevac support, actually. There is the starport is about to finish, and it looks like he is going to hot swap those off. And we should see that in just a moment. Most likely immediately queue up double medevacs to support that bio-army. But even with the medevacs, I expect the Colossus to pretty much wipe up that army.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I mean, the initial earlier barracks does delay your starport a little bit, and that's very unfortunate for this attack that he's seeing. And there are good force fields. That was over real quickly. He can do nothing against 2 Colossus and all these units on the ground. Even a Time Warp going down going to help a little bit. And there's a GG.
Deer taking it after a couple of disconnects, so we're not unfamiliar with this victory screen whatsoever.
It's true. He finally did actually deserve it, though. Taking out Nathanias 1-0 so far. Another game going to be coming up. Not sure what the map pool is yet, but a little bit about that game. That ended abruptly, didn't it?
That did. It was very... But at that point, he knew that his natural was lost, and he didn't have any units there to support it, so at that point, he would have just steamrolled